Have you ever imagined life in lockdown, with empty streets and closed beaches? With the global outbreak of the CCP virus, our lives will never be the same again. By late April, the CCP virus has spread to over 200 countries and regions, contracting over 3 million people and taking away 200,000 lives. Let us rewind to the very beginning of this pandemic. What could have been done differently? On December 31st, 2019, the World Health Organization, WHO, was informed by Chinese health officials about the outbreak for the first time, while the earliest known case dates back 6 weeks prior in Wuhan, the most populous city in central China. However, the WHO conveyed none of such information to the world until 5 days later. On the same day, December 31st, the WHO also received a warning from Taiwan about the potential risk of human-to-human transmission. The WHO simply ignored it. A golden opportunity to mitigate the spread of the CCP virus worldwide was missed. On that day, Taiwan started to screen passengers. It activated the Central Epidemic Command Center based upon its independent investigation into the virus. The situation in Wuhan quickly worsened. Whistleblowers were silenced in China. Cases started to appear outside China in mid-January. On January 21st, China's communist government finally admitted human-to-human transmission for the first time, though cases of human-to-human transmission were documented back in mid-December 2019, over a month prior. However, the WHO downplayed the significance by claiming, quote, "More investigation is needed to understand the full extent of transmission." 2 days later, Wuhan was in full lockdown. 5 million people had already fled the city. The virus continued to spread worldwide. Taiwan banned all non-essential travel to Wuhan and increased its epidemic alert level to orange. By January 30th, the CCP virus had spread to nearly 20 countries beyond China. Over 9,000 cases were reported worldwide. The WHO, under pressure, finally declared a global public health emergency. 11 countries, including the US, imposed travel restrictions on China on the next day. Even so, the WHO repeatedly advised against applications of any travel or trade restrictions on China. Such a stance was used by the CCP to criticize countries that did enact travel bans. By March 11th, the CCP virus had spread to over 100 countries with over 125,000 confirmed cases. The WHO finally declared pandemic. The US government declared a national emergency the day after. By late April, the CCP virus is affecting over 200 countries and territories, with over 3 million confirmed cases, costing more than 200,000 lives. The WHO is facing a flurry of criticism for its response to the CCP virus pandemic. Many believe the Chinese communist subversion of the WHO undermined global pandemic response. On the other hand, although being excluded by the WHO, Taiwan distrusted the CCP and became a model in containing the virus. Dr. Yi Zhengsu, the expert responsible for suppressing the CCP virus in Taiwan, told members of the Australian media not to trust the accuracy of data from China or the WHO. Indeed, if the world had not taken the CCP's data on its face value, hundreds of thousands of lives could have been saved.